Okay, before we start, anybody have question? Today is the last day before fall break. So tomorrow you're gonna have fall break until Monday, right? So no, until Sunday. You have to go back on Monday. So today we're gonna have lab. It is actually lecture for our lecture. Because this is gonna be chapter 7, right? Chapter 7 on your lecture, but it is lab number 6 in your lab activity. Okay? So we're gonna talk about, still we are in here, skeletal system. Okay? Skeletal system is consists of organ called bones. So all our organs, the skeletal system is called the bones. But there are how many bones normally? 206. Again, I say it over and over. If I put it in the exam, you still miss it, I cannot say anything, right? How many total bones? 206. Okay, now, from these 206 total bones, it is divided actually into two types, right? So there are two types of skeleton. First one is called the axial skeletons. Okay? And this axial skeleton consists of 80 bones. Okay, there are 80 bones on the axial skeleton. This is the one we're going to learn today. You have to know all the 80 bones today. And the way we're going to have the lab exam too will be in this lab. I'm going to just take, the bone and then asking you, what is the name of the bone? You have to write it down. Therefore, make sure you know all the name of the axial skeleton today. And the next week, you have to know the appendicular skeleton also. So the exams will be mostly showing the bone, and then there is also movement. So I'm gonna dance over here, and then you have to tell me what kind of movement that I have. There are several types of movement. We're gonna learn that on chapter 9 later. And then also the muscle that make that movement is gonna be chapter 10 and 11. So that's actually part of our lab exam gonna be over skeletal system, the movement, joint and movement, and the muscle, and also the brain. Now, we start with this axial skeleton. There are 80 bones. The second type of skeleton is called the appendicular skeleton. Okay. Now, the name is telling you, axial skeleton means the bones that's located in your axis of your body, in the middle. That's axial skeleton, right? The appendicular skeleton is going to be appendages. Appendages mean your limbs, whether upper limbs and the lower limbs. That's appendicular. Now, how many bones will be over there? How many bones are going to be on the appendicular skeleton? This is a simple math. You can use the cell phone if you want it. 206 minus 80 is 126. What? So 126 on the appendicular skeleton. There are 126 bones over there. Are you with me? Now, we learn this one first. Axial skeleton. This axial skeleton divided into several parts. We're going to put A over here. Right? Now we're going to take this baby with me. I hope it will not broken. Last time it's just broken apart. Alright. Okay. This is okay. So you can check that. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So which one is axial skeletons? This is bone here in the middle, right? In the middle. Start from here. What do you call all of this? Skull. Okay. The first group is called the skull. Okay. In me, skull. In the skull, there are 22 bones. There are 22 bones over there. Over here, we have 22 bones. We're going to learn one by one later. Next one will be here. The whole thing over here is called the rib cage or thorax. Okay, so B, I'm going to put B over here. Okay, thorax or rib cage. Hey, anybody know how many ribs do you have? Gonna be 12, yeah, that's good. 12 on the left and 12 on the right. How many total? 24. Plus, there is one bone, it's called the breastbone in the middle. So how many total on the thorax? 25. Okay? Get this one? Now, C will be this. Okay? From the top to the tail. Many vertebrae over there. What do you call that? Vertebral column or vertebrae. Okay, vertebral column. We're gonna put it. This one here over here. Right? Vertebral column. Okay. Okay. Anybody know how many total? There are how many?
35, 32.
No. Let's start. There are 7 on your neck, right? There are 7 on your neck. There are 12 on your thorax, on the back. Okay? There are 5 on your lumbar, on your back, lumbar. How many is already? And then there are 1. This. Okay, look like a triangle over here. It is called the sacrum. 1 sacrum. How many? 25, 24, right? And then, yeah, there's 5 fused together. So, Xavier already learned it. And then, there are 1 tail, coccyx. So, how many total? How many total? Did you count it? 7 plus 12 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1. 20. Oh, sorry. 26. Yeah, 26 total. We're gonna learn that again later. We're gonna put the name on each vertebrae. Remember, this is 1 organ to make it total 206 later, or 80 for the axial skeleton. Okay, vertebral column. Now, I want you to add them first, all of them. Do you have 80 already? 22 plus 25, what is it going to be? 47, right? And then plus 26? 47 plus 26? 60? Come on. How many? 73, right? 73. Hey, now, number D over here. We only have 1 bone over here on your neck, on the front. It's called the hyoid bone. Only 1, hyoid. Hyoid bone. 1. Hey, I think that's the first name of the bone that you have to memorize now. It's called the hyoid bone. Only 1. So total 74, right? How many more we need? How many more? 6, right? 74 plus 6 is going to be 80, right? That 6 is actually coming from your ear. In the middle ear, we have 3 bone. In each ear, in the middle ear, it has 3 bone. This one is too big. Right? This is just just a kind of models. This one over here, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we have 3 over here, another 3 over here. All of them is called the ear ossicle. We're going to learn that name one by one later. So, E over here is called the ear ossicle. Middle ear bone, which is, it has 6 total. 3 plus 3. Okay. Now, are you ready to name all these 80 bones? You already know one of them. Hyoid bone. We start with the skull. Okay, skull, there are 22 bones. It is divided into 2 parts. The first part will be this part over here. The whole part over here that protect our brain. Anybody know what is the name of this group of bone that protect our brain? Called the cranium or cranial bones. Okay? Cranium. Okay, or cranial bone. Okay? And there are 8 in this. There are 8 bones in our cranium. We're gonna start bone number 1. Bone number 1 will be, it has different color over here. We have a different color. Here, in our front. That's good. Frontal bone. Gonna be frontal bone. Frontal bone. How many we have? Only 1. So that's the first bone. The first name of the bone, the frontal bone. Okay. Second one, here, on the top. Parietal. Parietal. Okay, I don't do it. So we're gonna put 3 and 4. 2 and 3. Because what? There are 2. There are 2 of them. We're gonna put right parietal bone, and then left parietal bone. That's the name, right? The same name, left and right. Okay. Next is on the side. Temporal bone. And there's 2, what? Left and right. Therefore, we can put 4 and 5. Right temporal bone and left temporal bone. How many total? 5. Now, there is one on the back. This color over here, the blue color over here. Anybody know what is the name? Occipital, occipital bone. Number 6, occipital bone. Yeah. So we're gonna learn that, and that's actually part of your assignment today. Because male and female have different occipital bone. We're gonna identify whether that's called male or female. Now, 6. Where is 2 more? 2 more, you have to open the skull. I mean, the cranium. Right? So you're going to see bone over here, look like butterfly. Okay? It's actually in the front. It looks like butterfly. See that one, black one? What? That bone is called sphenoid. Sphenoid bone. Okay? One more, right? You see the blue on the top, very small. That's still on the same area with the sphenoid bone. That one is called the ethmoid. So ethmoid bone. Ethmoid bone. Okay, that's it. Total 8 cranial bone. Again, make sure you know, you learn, whether in this lab today or maybe at home, try to name each bone in the cranium. Okay, now, also if you see in the cranium, each bone is connected by the joint. But this joint will not give movement to the cranial bone. The bone still there, it's not moving, even though there is a joint over here. So this joint is called, so we're going to put over here, there is a joint, it's called the sutures. And it's also known as immovable joint. Right? So immovable joints that joins the bones on the cranium is called the suture. How you say it? Suture? Sutures. Okay, thank you. All right. And there are 4 types. There are 4 types. The first one, if you see between the frontal, see what? This frontal and 2 parietal, you have this. What? You have this suture. And this look like a crown. Okay? If you're a girl or, you know, small girl or a baby, oh, not small girl. You know, usually play with that crown, right? Like a crown, you are the queen. I am the queen, right? Therefore, the name is crown also. It's called the coronal. Coronal means crown. Coronal suture. Right. Make sure you write it down. Between what bone? Between frontal and 2 parietal. Write it down. Get it? Now, the second one, between this frontal and the 2 parietal is called the coronal suture. Now, the second one is between the 2 parietal. You still remember what is the name of plane that divide your body left and right? Sagittal. Therefore, the name is the same. Sagittal suture. Between left and right parietal, you have that suture over here. Okay? It's called the sagittal. Sagittal. Okay, so sagittal suture. Okay, between left and right parietal. You with me? Next, between this parietal and temporal, there is a suture that makes this temporal bone look like a scale. Scale in the scientific term is called squama. Squama means scale, like a fish scale, snake scale. That's called the squama. You remember epithelial tissue? There is the one that flat is called the squamous epithelial tissue, right? Because it looks like a scale. Therefore, this one is called the squamous suture. Okay, this is between parietal and temporal. Okay. The last one, between the 2 parietal and the back, the occipital. Okay, that suture is look like this. Okay, anybody know what is a Greek number or Greek letter over there? It's called lambda. Lambda. Therefore, the name of the suture is called the lambdoid suture. Lambdoid suture. Based on the shape, it looks like a lambda. You know, alpha, beta, theta, I don't know. It's lambda, one of them. Okay? So that's the Greek number or Greek letter. Okay? That's the 4. That's the 4. Oh, between here. This and this. What do you call this one? Parietal and occipital. Right? Between parietal and occipital. That's the lambdoid suture. Okay. We're done with this cranium. Okay, second part of the skull. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, second part is bone of your face. Now, what you call that? Gonna be called the facial bone. Okay, facial bone. Facial bones. Now, how many gonna be? Can you count? Remember, we have 22, right, for the skull? And skull consists of cranium and facial bone. On your cranium, you have 8. What is left over there? 14. It's going to be 14 bone on this face. On my face. I don't want to say on your face. Okay. How many bones on our face? 14. Let's start. Start from this bone here. We have small bone on our nose. Left, right. It's gonna be white. Is my face white? Yeah. No, okay. Okay, that's okay. Right and left. Right, what do you call it? Nasal. Nasal bone. So we're gonna put 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Right and left nasal or nasal bone. Okay. Next, close to it, also right and left, which is this one. Cheek bone. Anybody know what's the name? Scientific name for cheek bone? Zygomatic. It's gonna be 3 and 4. 3 and 4, right and left zygomatic bone. Cheek bone. Okay. Follow this, right? Next, under your nose. Okay, under our nose, we also have 2 bones over here where our teeth, the top teeth, the upper teeth located. What do you call this? Upper jaw or maxilla. Gonna be right and left. 2. Okay, 2. Number 5 and 6. Right and left maxillae. Upper jaws. Okay. You got this one? Now, we go to the under it, the lower jaw, gonna be number 7. I'm gonna put number 7 here. We actually only have 1, because it's fused together. Anybody know what's the name? Scientific name? Mandible. 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 Okay, now, take a note. This mandible is the only bone on our skull that can freely move. This is the only movable bone in our skull. The rest will not move. But some people can move their... Oh. Right? So this is the only what? The only movable bones of our skull. Take a note. See? 7 so far, right? Number 8 and 9. It's going to be left and right. Okay? It is inside our nasal cavity. You have bone that look like hook on the left and on the right. Look like hook. It is actually very important. When the air enter into your nose, it will be circling. Give a little bit kind of humidity, right? So that bone is called the right and left nasal conchae. Okay, you can take this one on your table later to see the two nasal conchae, left and right, on your nasal cavity. Okay, 9 so far. Okay. Number 10. Okay. Number 10 is in the middle. You see this middle? It's actually separate the nasal cavity. Right? It looks like a knife. Right? It looks like a knife. It's called vomer. Vomer. It's called the vomer. Only one. Okay. Get this one? And then if you see on the roof of your mouth over here, there are two bones on our roof of mouth. Anybody know what is the name of the bone? Palatine. Palatine, which is left and right. Right and left. Palatine. Palate. Now you call it palate. Hey, 12. Where is the other two? Come on, don't make me cry. Where is the other two? Don't make me cry. That one's going to be inside your eyes. That's for the tears. Tears go to this bone. Lacrimal. Don't make me cry. What? Lacrime mean cry or tears. Go number 13 and 14 will be right and left lacrimal. Lacrimal bone. Okay? It has a canal that used by your tears, by our tears, to go down from eyes into the nose. That's the reason why if you're crying, what happened with your nose? Watery, right? Yeah, a lot of, because what is coming from that tear bone or lacrimal bone. Okay, we're done. I mean, we're done with the skull. We're done with the 22 bone. 8 in the cranium, 14 on the face. Do you have question for this? Again, during the exam, lab exam, this is lab exam, not the lecture exam. Again, ask for you. What is the name of this bone? Frontal, wonderful. What is the name of this bone? Mandible, good job. What was this? Occipital. You pass today. Okay. Make sure you study that. Okay. Now, go to the second part, thorax or rib cage. How many bones total? 25. 24 ribs and 1 breastbone. This is breastbone. Right? This is 1 breastbone. Okay, it look like, I don't know, it look like sword also, what? Or small knife. So this breastbone has 3 parts. The head called the manubrium. I'm gonna put here. Let's say look like this. So the head is called the manubrium. Okay, and the longest part is called the body. Okay, this horn over here is called the body. And the very small part at the end, and this is mostly still cartilage, not bone. Therefore, it's really fragile. When you help someone with the, what you call the process? When you help someone, CPR. Okay. CPR, you have to put it in the right way, right? Otherwise, it might break this. That one is called the xiphoid process. which is mostly cartilage, easy to break. Are you with me? Yeah. Now, on the side also, they also have cartilage. This is hyaline cartilage, really shiny cartilage. Remember, there are 3 types of cartilage: hyaline, elastic, and fibrocartilage. This one is hyaline cartilage, right? Now, if you see here, this actually will attach to each of the ribs. Get it? How many ribs? 12 pairs, right? It's going to be 12 on the right, 12 on the left. Okay, now 7 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, will be attached directly to manubrium and then go to the each thorax vertebrae. There's going to be 12 thoracic vertebrae later because it's, attached with each of the ribs. Right? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ribs is called the true ribs. So rib number 1 until number 7. Right? So ribs number 1 until 7 pairs is called the true ribs. True ribs. Yeah, because it's attached directly to the manubrium. Yeah, it's a true rib. Okay, number 8 to 12 pairs. Okay, pairs number 8 to 12. If you have true ribs, what do you have gonna be? False rib. Okay, false rib. False ribs. Why you call false rib? Because they are not directly attached to the manubrium or to the breastbone, right? Number 8 attached to number 7. Number 9 attached to number 8. Number 10 attached to number 9. And then together with number 7, they go. So basically, they attach to the ribs above it, not directly to the manubrium. Okay? Not directly to the what do you call it? Chest bone. Breastbone. Okay? You guys want? Now, number 11. So this one, false rib, especially number 11 and 12. Okay, pairs number 11 and 12 is even does not touch to these ribs above. It is floating. So 11 and 12 is floating. And this one also have name as a floating ribs. Floating ribs. And it's actually false ribs that is floating. Therefore, it's called the floating ribs. Okay? That's the ribs, or the rib cakes, or the thorax. 25 of them. You basically only know the breastbone, and then 12 pairs. Pair number 1 to 7 true rib, number 8, 12 is false rib, especially 11 and 12 gonna be floating ribs. Get it? Now, do you have question for this one? Hey, if not, then we go to the next group, which is vertebral column. Hey, vertebral column. It has 5 parts. The first one's gonna be on the neck. On the neck. So the first part is called the cervical. Cervical vertebrae. Cervix means neck, vertebrae means vertebrae. So there are cervical vertebrae, there are neck vertebrae. How many? 7. There are 7 over here. 7. Now you have to name one by one, right? 7 cervical vertebrae. Now, Okay. I have this. They're very flat actually. It's very flat vertebrae. It's not that big. Flat. Vertebrae number 1 over here, okay, which is on the top here. Okay, that's the one that holding the skull, holding the globe. So in Greek language, we have this atlas. Atlas means globe. Look like a round ball. Oh, it's a globe, right? Therefore, the first vertebrae is also known as an atlas. Okay, it's coming from the function to hold the globe. So this is atlas. So this is C1. Okay. Cervical vertebrae number 1 is called atlas. Okay. Number 2 is like this. It has projection, it's called dens. And this is actually will fit with the atlas, causing us to be able to, atlas is the one that holding the globe, okay, our skull, right? When we say no, 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 it's actually this one moving. Okay, so this one moving. No, no, no. What? Because it has dens and it is entered into the first vertebrae. Now the second vertebrae is called axis. So the C2 over here is called axis. Okay, cervical 1, atlas. Cervical 2, axis. Okay, now cervical 3 is cervical 3. Okay, cervical 4, cervical 4 until 7, cervical 7. Yeah, just name based on the location. Get it? All right, so 7. Second part, this is in the thorax, on the back. And each of these vertebrae will attach with each of the ribs. So therefore, how many is going to be? 12, because you have 12 pairs of ribs, right? Okay, now the name is going to be thoracic vertebrae. Thoracic vertebrae. And the name will be T1, T2, T3, T4, T5 until T12. Thoracic 1, thoracic 2 until thoracic 12. That's easy name, right? Right. Get it? All right. The next group is called the lumbar. Lumbar vertebrae. This is considered as the biggest and thickest vertebrae in our body. Okay, over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the back. And this is the one that actually holding our body. And many people have problem with this area because if they work very hard, you know, carrying heavy things, this vertebral disc can be slipped, causing the slip disc, herniated disc, usually located in here, in lumbar vertebrae. How many of them? 5. What is the name? L1, L2, L3, L4, and 5. Well, that's not that difficult, right? That's the third part. The fourth part is called the sacrum or sacral vertebrae. It's only one. Here it looks like a triangle. This is actually fused of 5. Oh, actually, 5. 5 vertebrae fused together, making one big triangle shape of vertebrae is called the sacral. So only one. Become one. We don't say S1, S2, it's only one, sacrum, that's it. But you're gonna, if you see that's every part will fill with the nerve. Therefore, you're gonna have nerve number 1, S1, S2, S3. That's the nerve number, but not the vertebrae number. So vertebrae, only one, which is called the sacrum. And then the last one here which is in the tail. This is also fused of 3 to 5 vertebrae fused into one. And that one is called coccyx. Coccyx means tail. Tailbone. How many tailbone we have? Only one. Fused from 3 to 5. Now, that's a good thing. What? We only have one. You can imagine if you still have 5, you might have a little bit tail on the back. Okay? So that's the tailbone. One only. Alright. Now we're going to also learn later next week how the tailbone can be used to identify male or female hips. Alright. You have question for this one, the vertebral column. That's going to be total 26, all of them. 7 plus 12 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1, 26. Right. Hyoid bone, again, you already know, this is the only bones on the neck. And this is the only bone that do not attach to the other bone. Mostly bone and bone attach together, mostly. But this one is the only one that do not attach to the bone. It's actually attached to the cartilage. Okay? So that's called the hyoid bone. And the last one is called the ear ossicle. It has 6. But because it is in pair, you actually only memorize 3 names, right? It's going to be right and left. Okay? Number 1 and 2, right and left, this. This one actually, if you have, we have big ear over here. I don't know whose ear. Right. The ear is actually divided into 3 parts. The outer ear consists of this auricula, which is the earlobe, and then the ear canal enter into our ear. Well, that's still part of the outer ear. And then the membrane, the drums, eardrum. It is still the part of the outer ear. You get this one? The second part is called the inner ear. This is inner. I'm sorry. Middle ear first, okay? It's middle ear. So outer, middle. That middle ear is where that ear ossicle is located. Okay? So remember, the last part of the outer ear is the ear membrane, okay? Eardrum. The eardrum, when somebody call you or somebody talk, the voice, which is the vibrations, will enter into our ear canal, right? It will vibrate the eardrum, what? And this eardrum will be connected to this one, the first one. This first one is called the malleus. It's called the malleus. Malleus. So malleus. So malleus will be also vibrate. All right. When the malleus vibrate, it will send the vibration to the second ear ossicle over here. It also will be vibrating. That second one is called the incus. So it's going to be number 3 and 4, right and left incus. Malleus incus. Okay? Now, from the incus, then vibration will go to the next ear ossicle over here. What? It's called the stapes. Stapes. Number 5 and 6, right and left stapes. Yeah? Okay, and then from this stapes, vibration will go, enter into our inner ear, which is here. This is inner ear. And the inner ear, you have the hair cells that will receive that information, and then will telling you over here, oh, this one is coming from my mom. So you able to distinguish your mother voice, your father voice, or your friend voice based on that different vibration that enter into your ear. Again, there are 3 pairs of ear ossicle or ear bones. which is Malleus, Incus, and Step. How you memorize it? I always remember Miley Cyrus. I don't know how I get that Miley Cyrus, but Miley gonna be Malleus, right? And then Cyrus, I don't know what is Incus and Step, but it's worked for me, right? When I remember Miley Cyrus, I remember this ear ossicle. Okay, you get this one? Hannah Montana, you see Hannah Montana? Hey, how many total already now? There should be 80, right? Should be 80. That's all the name of the axial skeleton. 80 of them. Right? So study at home, and also your lab report will also asking you to name many parts of the bone on the axial skeleton. Okay, do you have a question for this one? If not, then we're going to do the activity, which is going to be part of your lab point today. Okay, so everybody have to do this and then submit this before you leave the classroom or the lab. So I need this as your score for lab activity.
Make flashcards.
Welcome. Okay, everybody got the paper, right? Now, just to remind you that you are a college student, right? You are an adult. It means that you are free to do whatever you want to do, but you are responsible for whatever you want to do, right? If you don't get score from the lab, for example, because you're leaving the lab, that's your mistake. That's your responsibility, right? So you are a college student. I will not asking you stay or you have to stay and etc. No, but I will give you grade based on your what you do, your activities, right? Not just showing up and then going home. Okay? Again, you are a college student, you are an adult. Yes, you are responsible for yourself. Okay? All right. Now, what we're gonna do? There are four. There are four skull. Okay? So number one. There is number 2 over there. This one is number 2, right? And there is we have number 1 over here? Yeah, number 1. Now you have to identify number 1 and number 2 and put it in your paper. So there in your paper you have 2 places to put your activity or identification. Which is this page, right? There are 2 of them, right? So you can put skull number 1 or skull and then skull number 2. So there are 2 places to put your activity. This activity will be group activity. You're gonna do it with your group, but the data and the report, right? The worksheets have to be individual worksheet. Right? Now I'm gonna help you with the first identification. After that, the second identification you have to do it together. Now you can group with your friend that you have a skull on it. Okay, now look at page number 2 over here. Okay, page number 2. This is how you identify the skull. Okay, let's say somebody get killed. Let's say somebody get killed a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago, and then you buy a house. Right? On the background, you dig your background, you know, and then you found a skull. What? You found a skull on your backyard. Right? Now, because you are anatomy and physiology students, before you call the police, you can try to identify first. I want to know whether this is male or female. Right? So you do it, and then after you're able to say whether this is the victim is male or female, you call the police. Hey, police, I found a skull in my backyard. It's a female skull. How do you know it? I learned it in the classroom. Okay, so you can do that. Can you do that? I don't know, but let's say you found a skull and want to know whether male or female. So there's two skull, number 1 and number 2. I think it's different skull, right? Different gender. I don't know. That's your identification will tell, right? Whether different gender or not. So I'm gonna help you with first identification. It doesn't matter whether you have number 1 or number 2. It doesn't matter. We're gonna follow this identification, this scoring. So basically, you're gonna score. You give score 1 to 5. 1 to 5. It's gonna be 2, 3, or 4, and 5, right? Okay, for your identification. Now, the first thing that you're gonna do, like for example, on here is a general size. This is just based on your observation. Therefore, you work together now, right? You can discuss with your classmate how big is that skull. How big is that skull? Right? How heavy is that? If it is big and heavy, right, then you can put number 5, 4 or 5. Okay? The bigger the skull, the bigger the score. Are you with me? If it is you think or you discuss this is small skull, then you put number 1 or 2. So write it down. So for the size, if it is small, number 1 or 2. If it is big, you put number 4 and 5. But make sure you discuss with your friend. You put, okay, I will put, I think number 4. Your friend say number 5. So then you have to choose which one, 5 or 4. Why? Don't put 4 or 5, but 5 or 4. Choose one. Now, if you confuse and then you fight with your friend, give number 3. Number 3 is for people that confuse. What? Give number 3. You get this? That's the first one. What is the first one? General size. What is the second parameters? What did it say over there? What is the second one?
Where's the other school?
It's going to be there, over there. Okay. What is number 2? Say. What is the second one on page number 2? What is the second parameters that you have to identify? It's called the nuchal crest, right? Nuchal crest. What is crest? Crest means bumpy. Bumpy. Bump. Right? So nuchal crest is the bump on the occipital bone. Okay, you can hold it and you can feel it, whether this is bumpy or not. Okay, write it down. If it is bumpy, then you can put 4 or 5. If it is bumpy. Right? If it is not bumpy, if it is smooth, you think it's smooth, then 1 or 2. 1 or 2. If you confuse, what number? 3. At the end, you will confuse the gender. You got this one? That's the second parameter. Bumpy, 4 or 5. Smooth, 1 or 2. Confused, 3. What is the next one? What is the next parameter according to this table? Mastoid process. What is mastoid process? Look at over here. There is a projection on the temporal bone. That projection or process is called the mastoid process. This one over here. Not the sharp one, not the small one, but this big one over here. Right? That's mastoid process. Now, how we measure it? Again, you discuss with your classmate, with your group. Right? Maybe the first one is still confused, but later you're going to see the difference. If it is big, bumpy, big, thick, then give 4 or 5. 4 or 5. If it is, you think it is not that big, it's small, right? It's not that bumpy, then you give what? 1 or 2. If you confuse, 3. Okay. What is the next? Supraorbital margin. You actually have to put your fingers in the top of this eye socket. Top of eye socket, and feel it. Feel it on the top, right? Feel it. Yeah. If it is dull, how you say it? Oh, dull? Okay, dull. If it is dull, then give 4 or 5. But if it is sharp, you can feel it. Maybe it might cut your finger. Then you give 1 or 2. Again, if it is dull, 4 or 5. If it is sharp, like a knife, well, it's 1 or 2. If you confuse, 3. Confused. Okay, what is next? Supraorbital ridge. This is actually your eyebrow. Your eyebrow. Eyebrow. Okay, eyebrow. I'm sorry. Eyebrow. Over here. Look at this. The eyebrow. Eyebrow over here. If it is bumpy, 4 and 5. 4 and 5. If it is smooth, it's not that, you cannot really see it. Okay, it's really smooth. Then 1 or 2. If you confuse, again 3. 3 for confuse. Okay, that's supraorbital ridge, which is the eyebrow bone. Okay. What is next? Mental eminence. Mental eminence is the chin. Okay, the chin. Look at the chin. I'm gonna erase this. Okay. Look at the chin. If the chin look like a squarish, like that, squarish, then give 4 or 5. Square, like a square. What? But if it is a little bit pointed, give 1 or 2. If you confuse, 3. Confuse 3. Well, that's for the mental eminence, which is the chin. Squarish, 4 or 5. Pointy, 1 or 2. What is next? Next is gonion. Gonion is the angle of the mandible, the side angle over here. Right? You have to measure with this. Anybody know what is the name? Yeah, protractor. You have to measure. I will give you a protractor later. How you have to measure it? This angle over here. Let's say I'm gonna put angle here. You can also put it on your paper. Draw it. Okay. You can put it up all the way. Angle over there. Okay. We're gonna measure it. I cannot see the number. 100. What is the number here?
110.
110. So according to my measurement, this is 100 degree. My bone. So you have to measure your own bone. Let's say if it is close to 90. Okay, close to 90. Okay, then you put 4 or 5. Okay, if it is close to 120, you give 1 or 2. So basically 120 is going to be 1, and then between them you can put the number. Like say if it is 90, 100 for example, you can get 4. If it is 95, and then it's 110, maybe you can give 3. What? Yeah. Okay, that's for the gonion. The next one is called the posterior zygomatic crest process. This one over here. You see, between the temporal bone and the zygomatic bone, there is a bridge. That bridge is called the crest. The bridge over here, right? It's called the crest, the bridge. If it is thick and bumpy, good 4 or 5. If it is kind of small, thin, smooth, you can give 1 or 2. The bridge between the zygomatic bone and the temporal bone. That's bridge over here. Yeah. Okay. Right now, maybe you only have 1. You don't have comparison, but later after you get the other one, like for example, you get number 1, then you get number 2, you might see the little bit different over there, right? That's the crest. The next one is palate. Palate means the roof of the mouth. Okay? Here, the roof of the mouth over here. Now, if it is deep, if it is really deep, then you put 4 or 5. If it is shallow, you can measure it with your finger or with your ruler. How deep is that? Then you will compare with the other skull. If it is deep, 4 or 5. If it is shallow, 1 or 2. If it is shallow, 1 or 2. Okay, the last one is the teeth. For the teeth, you have to see the molar. What is molar teeth? Which one is molar teeth? On the back, the one that grinding the food. So the molar teeth is going to be like this. Let's say you have one molar teeth over here, and this is the other one. Look at the cups. Cups mean the kind of the process. Thus, you have it on the teeth, like a bumpy things on the teeth. You can count it. If it is 5, then you give 4 or 5. If it is only 4, like this, then you give 1 or 2. Okay, so there is different number of cups and the molar teeth between male and female. Okay, then you can put that observation number or the scoring number on your paper over here. And then total them together. If the total is between or below 30, it's going to be female skull. If it is above 30, it's going to be male skull. If you put all 3s, when you confuse, then I don't know what gender is that, right? Because your gender is confusing now if it is right on 30 number. Hey, are you with me? Now you can do it by yourself, right? The second bone, the second skull. And then when you finish, don't forget, put your name and put your partner name. I need 2, 2 identification, number 1 and number 2. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
How do I measure this using the protractor?
Put here.
Okay. And then
Just. Okay, then measure this.
Okay, so do this.
Put the 0 on the corner, right? And then line on the line, and then going there.
So it's this one here,
Mhm.
105.
105, yeah, 105.
So 105.
The
That's 90.
yeah, close to 90.
So
Yeah.
put 4. Okay, so this is definitely a guy.
Yeah. Yes.
With the
Angle, yeah. So you need the protractor. So you can take this, yeah, and put it here. And then, can I borrow your protractor for a while?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And you take longer line like this, longer line like this. You're actually measuring this. So how you measure it? This one is gonna be on the dot over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the line's gonna be the same, right? Horizontal, and this the other line over here. So this number over here,
100.
110. Yeah.
And
So
that's
you-
1, 5. What is it?
If it is, you think it's closer to 90 than 4 or 5,
Okay.
it's closer to 120,
It's 1 or 2.
1 or 2, but it's 110 is look like a tree
A 3.
in the middle, yeah.